Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Car Reviews Podcast here with CollectorCarCanada.ca. Today we have a couple of interesting ones for you. The first is from the glory days of the three-pointed star. It's a 1995 Mercedes-Benz E320 Convertible. So the E-Class in W124 form is very well known among Mercedes buffs and the general public, I'd say, as one of the most reliable cars Mercedes ever built. Certainly in the 80s and 90s, if you were in Europe at all, just about every taxi cab you saw was the sedan version of this beautiful convertible. So that's certainly a testament to the cab drivers of the time being willing to pay a little extra for Mercedes-Benz quality because they knew it would pay dividends down the road in robustness, longevity, and reliability. Car we have today, it's lot 320. What are the chances of that? An E320 is lot 320. Lot 320 on collectorcarcanada.ca. It's a 95, like I say. It's checking in a little under 225,000 kilometers. If that seems like a lot, please be sure to take a look at the little video we have on the listing uh, where the owner of the car thumbs through all of the service records for the car. There's a little bit of factory documentation on there as well. But there are dealer service stamps in the original booklet, the warranty booklet for the car, going up to, I think it was 167,000 kilometers. So that's a big portion of this car's history, being that it checks in at a little under 225,000 kilometers. Lot 320 for the 1995 Mercedes-Benz E320 convertible. Next up, a 1990 Nissan 300ZX. So 1990 model year is the first year of the Z32 body style. If anyone in the US is watching this, they're laughing because they're thinking 300ZX, Z32. Uh, Always fun to talk about our differences with our neighbors to the south. However, so the Z31 was that was the first Z car. I do say Z car, I guess. That was the first Z car with the pop-up headlights. Of course, the lineage goes back to 1970, and we also sold a 72 240Z probably about 6 weeks back. But this one, as was happening with headlight regulations at the time, Nissan decided to move away from the pop-up headlights for the Z32s. So, and another interesting thing about this car is that the turbocharged version was the Motor Trend Import Car of the Year for 1990. So this one is in red. It's about the same mileage as the Mercedes. I think it checks in just under 226K kilometers. Finished in red. It's got some aftermarket appointments, both cosmetically and some performance bits. Certainly the stock powertrain, stock engine and transmission. Car shifts nicely. But as I say, some performance bits, and we get into that on the detailed listing. It's lot 323 on collectorcarcanada.ca, the 1990 Nissan 300ZX 2+2 5-speed manual with the T-tops. So again, it's red on charcoal with some really nice red microfiber appointments that really differentiate it from the other Z32s out there. Z32, Z32, I can't decide. Lot 323 for the 1990 Nissan 300ZX 2+2, so a little bit of space for passengers in the rear. 5-speed manual with the T-tops. Here come the cars. Thanks for watching. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another great car here on the Car Reviews Podcast with CollectorCarCanada.ca. Today we have a 1995 Mercedes-Benz E320 convertible, and I'm going to start the car a little sooner than I normally do in these videos because I want to show you the top going down. Key in, automatic. Nice easy start. Got attacked by the seatbelt motor there, but you know it operates. A couple little releases here in front of the visors. And here we go with the top. So this one checks in at just under 224,000 kilometers. Interestingly, the most recent two owners are Mercedes-Benz dealership employees. The second most recent is technician, which would indicate the car is in fine mechanical condition. I'll put the windows down, but I wanted to finish that sequence so you saw the entire sequence, as I say. So yeah, he's a technician. The current guy is our seller is a sales rep, and I always get a kick out of hearing. I'm gonna cut the engine now, but I always get a kick of hearing dealership employees, particularly those related to sales, and even dealers themselves who want us to help them with unloading a car. So we're really pleased to have this one. Again, a 1995 Mercedes-Benz E320 Convertible. And what are the chances? It's lot 320 on collectorcarcanada.ca. As some viewers will know, we're an advertiser with the Mercedes-Benz Club Canada. Sorry, Robert, for saying more accurately, the club is called Mercedes-Benz Club Canada. And that's how we ended up meeting the owner of this one. We get to the odd event, and its president's really good about referring on members to us when it's time to let a beautiful three-pronged star example go. So we've already started this one up. I think what I'll do is I'll cut the camera here in a second, and then I'll go pick it up. I'll start it up again, and we'll get in close to hear the engine running at idle as well as the exhaust at idle. And we'll continue on with the exterior tour. So let's move on. All right, I put the top back up just to give you a good look at what it looks like with the top up. Of course, it's a soft top, black in color, so it's quite obvious it's a convertible, but it does have a graceful coupe profile. Of course, no pillar with the convertible, so easy to see right through the car from two windows on the driver's side to two windows on the passenger side. Okay, let's get a look at that and listen to that engine. Like I was saying, a couple of weeks back, we sold a 2000 BMW 540i. So same era, it's 5 years newer than this car, but I raved about how great the hood release was. Hood release and handle all in one. Mercedes-Benz, really great as well. Almost as good as the BMW. I'm going to give the nod to Beamer. But here's the second release to pull up the hood. I had already released it from the cabin. I've got a second microphone here, so I'll pull it out so we get in close to the belts and get a good listen. So, editor, I'm turning the second microphone on now. Okay, we'll go back to my microphone that's connected to my collar, or yeah, I guess my collar. So 3.2 liter 6-cylinder engine here. It was factory rated at 217 horsepower, and it's made it to a 4-speed automatic, kind of state of the art at the time. This definitely would not have served any taxi cab duty, but these W124 sedan versions of this same car, the E-Class, served for millions and millions and millions of miles as taxis in Europe. It was hard to walk down the street in Europe in the 90s without seeing not only one, but dozens of them. They were everywhere in the big cities. Here are some AC components, master cylinder, of course, some ABS equipment, the brake lines, nice Mercedes emblem right here on top of the, I guess on top of the fan and the belts. And there's the air intake, coolant reservoir and washer fluid. Nice big Mercedes-Benz branded battery. Another indication that and a Mercedes-Benz employee is the owner of the car. Emission control information, and here are the option codes. We'll get a shot of those and put them on the detailed listing again. Lot 320, can't go wrong. And the other labels under the hood here, all still in place. Oh, I wanted to show you this label. Another indication that Mercedes-Benz parts are in use on this car. It's funny, I see blue sky over there, but we're getting a slight shower right now. We're going to continue on with the video, but you will see some more fair weather photos of the car on the detailed listing. Again, lot 320 on Collector Car Canada. Working our way back to the exhaust, just a single exhaust on this car. Well, two pipes, but only the single muffler. So, editor, I am turning the second microphone on again now. So nice quiet exhaust, certainly on this 1995 Mercedes-Benz E320 Convertible. That'll about do it for our engine tour with the engine running. I'm going to shut off the camera now and get us set up for an exterior tour. Here we are with my favorite sort of classic driver 1/4 shot. White car, got some white moldings down below that chrome colored rub strip. Mostly factory car, but these wheels are a real treat to see. We'll get in close to those and take a look at the wheels and tires. So they're 17-inch rim, definitely wider than stock. We'll get the stock stats on the detailed listing, but the tire, I read 225/45 ZR17. And this one's an Altezo tire. I see the Sports Comforter branding on it. Again, 225/45 ZR17. You can see it's a W rating. Trying to look around for a date code. I don't see it. We'll check the other side for that because sometimes, oh no, I see it. There it is, 2020 dating on the tire. The owner estimates these tires are about 80% good, 20% worn. But yeah, those I'll call it an AMG look wheel. I don't think those are AMG, but I'll check with the owner. Performa 2.5 is what I see in the branding with that 3-pointed star in the center, of course. Good looking wheel. I don't see any flaws on the wheels or the tires. Working our way back. So we've got dual color coded mirrors, as you might expect on a premium offering from Mercedes-Benz in 1995. And black canvas top or soft top. Top looks to be in nice condition. I didn't have any trouble operating it, as you saw. Glass window here with rear defrost. We're still experiencing this little shower, but I'm still staring at that blue sky in the distance. But we'll continue on. We'll soldier on. Here's a look at the rear tire. So staggered setup. This rear tire is sized at 245/40 ZR17. Also with a W rating. It's a Saline Altezo tire. And cruising in on the date code on this one. I see 2019. So just a few weeks apart from the fronts. I'm going to take a look at that front again for a little more detail. Make sure I got it right. And yeah, I do see Altenzo on this tire. So I think we've got two pairs of tires. It's not a matching set at all four corners. Power antenna here. And there's a good look at the driver's rear quarter look angle. I rave sometimes about these Mercedes-Benz taillights of the period. First, I'm going to mention that there's an AMG ducktail spoiler installed on the car. Another modification that's certainly tasteful, gives it a sportier look. But you can see these taillights are, I'll call it ridged, and they look great. But the engineering reason behind that is that the further in surfaces, the recessed surface, doesn't get dirty when this gets covered in mud, or it doesn't get snowy when this is covered in snow. So it's really a safety feature. The lights are more visible as a result. So working back, we got a nice little child sneaker down there connected to the tow hook, and it's kitted out for towing. Not sure if the current owner does any towing. I suspect not, because there was a big Mercedes-Benz SUV on his driveway when we arrived. So I think that's what he would use for towing if he was even going to tow. He's got young children though, so I'm betting he's not someone who uses towing. I see a flaw here on this bumper cover. It's been touched up. So yeah, there's a flaw that's been touched up. And I see a bit of a scratch here underneath the chrome strip. And a little mark here on the fuel door as well. That's a break in the paint. And getting back to the tires and wheels. So here's a passenger side rear. The Saloon Attrezzo. Z4 all season, AS for all season. And I'm not seeing sizing on this one easily. Here it is down here, 245, 40. ZR17 with the W rating and a date code. I'm going to defer to the date code on the other side because I don't see one on this side, and I think it might be on the inside of the tire. I do see a flaw in the rim here. There's a bit of curb rash on it. Going to pull out a business card, go in close up to give you a sense of perspective. Here's a business card. I think you'll recognize this logo, at least I hope you will. But there we go. So not quite as wide as the business card and pretty light, but it's there, so I wanted to show it to you. Working our way forward. So we do have all four windows open right now. Power windows, as you'd expect. And in here, you might see how that beige piece is not flat, and that's because of the motorized seat belt that operates when the car started and time to drive away. Working our way forward here. So yeah, I'll say a white colored car with off-white molding underneath that chrome colored strip. Here's a good close look at the passenger side color-coded mirror, and a look at the soft top from the passenger side. I don't see any flaws or cuts in it. There's a little bit of a run here and here. Fairly minor. Oh, same on the other side in the same place. That must be where the roof folds when it goes up and down. But I think this is a fair weather car only. But I don't expect any leaks from that, but I wouldn't be surprised if the owner didn't even know about it. So front right tire, the Altenzo Sports Comforter, size 225 45 ZR 17 with the W speed rating. There's a nick in this wheel too. Pretty small, but it's there. You can see the size relative to the business card and the Performa 2.5 wheel as well. So a matching set of wheels. You can see there's a bit of a deep dish look considering the wider tire in the rear and the different offsets. A little more shallow look here. See if we can get them both in the frame at the same time. But yeah, those rear wheels give the car a bit of an aggressive profile. Up front, it's a 224k kilometer car, so not perfect up here on the front. A few marks, badges of honor, I'd say. The grill's nice. I did notice this when I was, it's just the metal piece is a bit loose here. The grill itself is stable. I had a microphone in there when I started the car. That's why I noticed that, just to give you the full picture. I guess the full audio, but yeah, some touched up marks here on the front bumper. All in all, a sharp car though, I think it's fair to say, and the classic flush mount headlights, but not the first set of flush mount headlights, at least for the European market. The rules changed here in North America, early 80s. I just read something about this in the past couple of weeks. I don't remember the exact date. And of course, the three-pointed star hood ornament with a Mercedes-Benz emblem in writing underneath. Single wiper on the car, which is kind of fun. they managed to find a way to get the entire windscreen cleaned with the single wiper. That drizzle has concluded, so I think what I'll do is move to the interior. Maybe if it stays stopped, we'll do the interior tour with the top down. Look at that blue sky. When do we get some sun above the Mercedes? We'll be right back with the interior tour. All right, so we have the top back down. You can probably sense my enthusiasm for these cars. I have owned a W126 four-door sedan. It was actually sold on the website in the early days. By memory, the lot was about 0888, 090, but I may be way off on that. So we've got a tan or beige interior. The seats show somewhere. Again, we're not claiming this to be a brand new car. It's sitting here a little under 224,000 kilometers. Two sets of Mercedes branded mats, the all-weather set, thick rubber, and a carpeted set, also with the Mercedes emblem. Oh, and then there's another two floor mats down there. So probably got a couple $100 for these floor mats if you decide to buy the car and don't need them. So perforated leather in the inserts and solid on the outside. As I say, the car does show some wear on the leather, and I want to show that all of that to you. Beautiful wood toppers here on the door cards and the dash and console, as well as that storage cubby. Map pockets, pretty generous on either door. Here are the seat controls. The power seats are controlled by the on the door here, and there's a memory function as well, just for the driver though. There are the lights, parking brake release. It's a foot brake, and this red lever is the hood release. You can see that door hinge looks nice and clean there. I don't think I mentioned this. This car comes from the era of Mercedes-Benz using biodegradable, for real, wiring harnesses. So they were a big problem for the company with these about 94 to 96 cars. This one's a 95, and it is so affected. However, very important item on this era of Mercedes-Benz. The wiring harness has been changed out, so no problems there. Telescopic wheel, cruise control on the upper stalk, and of course the lower one is for the indicators as well as windshield wipers. Cruising on into the instrumentation, so we've got a 260 kilometer an hour speedometer, a 7,000 RPM tachometer with red line at around 5,800. A functional clock, that is the time right now. Oh, well, actually our seller's always early for things. I think it's fast by about 7 minutes. And then 3 gauges in one over here on the left. Fuel, coolant temperature, and oil pressure measured in the German standard bar. I did notice that LCD down below was in operation. It's 17 degrees Celsius at the time we're shooting this video, and I saw it lit up. Maybe I'll try to light it up for you, but I also wanted to be full disclosure on it in that another common affliction of these cars is the LCD will get partially blacked out, and we see it on this car. But there you see the 17 Celsius and a few of the warning lights that come on with the key going to the on position without even starting it. In the center of the screen, you can see a microphone, and that's because the owner has kitted out the car with Pioneer aftermarket head unit. So it's got AM, FM, CD, as well as you can see on the right, there's an input both for USB and standard size jack. I'm not sure what that one's called, but the microphone is to enable you to use your phone hands-free. Working our way around the controls here, several in front of this on this wooden panel here in the center console. I don't know what all of them are for, but this one operates the headrests in the rear. Tested those out; they were working just fine. 4 ways. I think this is for recirculating the air within the cabin, and rear defrost as well. But take a look closely at those on the detailed listing. Again, lot 320. And the car does come with an owner's manual, so you can look up the, well, you don't need to look them up when you're thinking about buying the car, but if you do buy the car, there's a description of those, of course, in the owner's manual. Climate control. So automatic climate control. You can see there's a rotary dial to set the temperature, blue, white, and red, but also the numbers in Celsius, it being a Canadian market car. So working our way over here to the driver's side door card. You can see the power seat control on the door, as well as that nice looking authentic wood topper. There's a elasticized cargo net here for the passenger. Looks like the car's had some Mercedes-Benz service. That's what that white mat's for. The all-weather Mercedes mat, and then another all-weather mat, which looks brand new. A Mercedes branded carpeted mat, a black Mercedes-Benz carpeted mat, and then I'm thinking the one at the bottom is the original because it's got the connector there in the bottom left of the screen right now. So a mother load of floor mats coming with this 1995 Mercedes-Benz E320 Convertible. I just have the one key with me today, and there's a good look at it. The car does come with two keys. A real Mercedes enthusiast. He's driving a late model S-Class right now. I think it's an S580. Don't quote me on it. Definitely a V8 turbo, twin turbo, I believe. And he also had the big Mercedes SUV on the driveway when we arrived. So here's a good look at the generous back seats. In case this looks like an aftermarket doohickey, oh, check it out. We've got a Mercedes emblem on it. So that can be somewhere to put your suit if you need, if you're carrying some clothes around, you don't want to get wrinkled. Got shoulder harnesses for the rear seat passengers, as you see. There's a mark on each of these headrests. I want to say it's from the burning sun, driving with the top down. Of course, that's just a one-liner. Not sure the cause, but I wanted to show it to you. And then this cover where the top is hiding while it's down. Power antenna, I think I showed you that. Map pockets behind each of the front seats, and a mother load of floor mats for the rear compartment, the rear seat passengers as well. I mentioned the controller for the headrests. There's even one that the rear passengers can control. So long as I'm here, we've got console. Now there's a release for that. I can't reach without both hands, but there's a little bit of storage in there. Personal items in there. I don't want to go through them. And there's a button here to release that dual purpose armrest and storage compartment there. So that'll about do it, I think, for our interior tour. I showed you the door hinges on the passenger side. Might as well show you, or rather on the driver's side, I might as well show you on the passenger side as well. There we go, looking nice and clean. So let's move on to some, I suppose I'll show you the trunk. It's just filled with personal items right now, but I'll clear those out and give you a look because it's really clean. And we'll progress. Another look at the smart back end of this car with that AMG ducktail in place. Let's pop open that trunk and have a look. So this latch or button, I suppose, is in the unlock position. You can turn it with the key, and then this button will not release the latch, but it's unlocked now. So that releases the latch. And speaking of the latch, this is a really great feature of Mercedes and other manufacturers at the time, particularly German. You can lock all of the doors and lock and unlock all of the doors with the keyhole you saw there on the button. But here's a good look at the trunk. Of course, the roof does eat into a bit of the trunk space. The one thing I left is the car cover that comes included with the car. But look at these hinges. So over-engineered. No problem keeping that trunk lid up. And the trunk lid is kitted out in some felt that matches the carpet here on the base of the trunk. And the cover is a bit in our way, but I'll show you the spare tire here as well. It's not brand new. It looks like it's been used, but there's a spare tire kit in there with the jack as well. And the original tool roll, it looks like, I'm not going to pull it out, but certainly I know that color to be original from Mercedes, and it looks like the tools are in there. So a nice little inclusion. as we finish up our trunk tour and move to some closing thoughts. So there's a good look at our 1995 Mercedes-Benz E320 Convertible. You can probably tell I love it. However, I'm not allowed to bid on it. We have a rule at the company that insiders can bid only on a no reserve auction. So this one has a reserve attached to it, certainly a very fair reserve, but as a result, I cannot bid. So again, 1995 Mercedes-Benz E320 Convertible, a little under 224,000 kilometers, but with all the maintenance done. Have a look for some details about that on our detailed listing, lot 320. I think I said under 224,000 kilometers. The big thing I mentioned in the body of the video, though, was the wiring harness has been changed out. Really important for these mid-90s Mercedes-Benz, because Mercedes-Benz was using wiring harnesses that the squirrels like to eat. But no such problem after the replacement. Some neat touches like those wheels with the staggered set, big deep dish look in the rear, the purpose-built coat hanger rear are sort of aft of the driver's seat, and all those floor mats, kind of an indication of a dealership, a Mercedes-Benz dealership employee. However, I mentioned he's an employee. He's no longer an employee, so he's not selling cars. Maybe that's the way we got it. Otherwise, I'll bet the Mercedes dealer would have snapped this up. They would have loved to have sold this at full retail, but we're going to do better than that for you. So again, it's lot 320, 1995 Mercedes-Benz E320 Convertible. That's going to about do it for this car. I want to thank you for watching, and we're going to move on to the next car. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another great car here on the Car Reviews podcast with CollectorCarCanada.ca. Today we have a 1990 Nissan 300ZX 2+2 with T-tops and a 5-speed manual transmission. So this one was the Motor Trend 1990 Import Car of the Year. The Z32 body style for the 300ZX, following the really popular Z31s of the 80s with the pop-up headlights that followed the more original body styles of the Z cars, starting in 1970 with the legendary 240Z. We actually sold a 72 240Z not long ago, and now here we have this 1990 Nissan 300ZX 2+2 5-speed manual with the T-tops. Again, the Motor Trend Import Car of the Year for its year of manufacture, model year. Actually, we'll get to this when we see the VIN. This one's a very early Z32, 1990 model year being the first year for them. And I'll show you the VIN in a minute, well, more than a minute, but when we tour the exterior, you can see this was a really early example of it. So this one is finished in bright red, as you see. It's got a custom interior, originally gray and black, but there's a lot of microfiber appointments in red to complement the exterior. And we'll get a look at that when we tour the interior. It's sitting at just under 226,000 kilometers. And so that's what it's going to go to its new owner with, under 226K. And I think it's about the time where I'm going to start the car now, and we'll continue our tour with listening to the engine and exhaust, and then the exterior, interior, and the like. So I've got the car in neutral. This is old enough car that you don't need to put the clutch down to start it. So in neutral, I'm just going to turn the key and we'll give it a start. No problem at all. We do have a cold start video on the detailed listing for lot 323. The car had been running for about 2 minutes before I just started it there. We brought it from where we did the cold start video to where we're sitting here for the video right now. So I think it's time where I jump out of the car, grab the camera, and we'll get a listen to the engine at idle and the exhaust at idle. and then go from there. The 1990 Nissan 300ZX 2+2 5-speed manual with T-tops. So we'll cruise on in and get a good listen to the engine. I've got a separate microphone for that. You'll see it in my hand. And Mr. Editor, I'm turning on the second microphone now. So you're probably guessing there wasn't quite as much white in the engine compartment when the car was new, and with that you'd be right. All of the white is merely for cosmetics, just to change things up a little bit. There are a couple of aftermarket pieces here. You can see those hoses are red. They would not have been hoses red from the factory. But you can see this AMS radiator, which is a performance part. Nismo rad coolant cap. Nismo is short for Nissan Motorsport, so that's a Nissan brand name. And you can see the decorative cover here sets out that it's a 3-liter V6, originally rated at 222 horsepower from the factory. So a 3-liter V6 at 222 horsepower from stock. And there's something for the air conditioning, a good Optima battery here. We see some fuses in here, and master cylinder. A neat thing that those with mechanical minds notice when they're under the hood of this car are these timing belt covers. So you can see through the transparent cover the spinning going on. And here's a look at the options on the car. And that's a good look at our engine compartment on the 1990 Nissan 300ZX 2+2 with 5-speed manual and T-tops. Let's work our way back to the exhaust. And again, Mr. Editor, I'm now turning on the second microphone to get a listen to the exhaust. So dual exhaust, each with 2 exits, and that's a good listen to the car. Let's pause now and move forward to the exterior tour. So a good look at the 1990 Nissan 300ZX 2+2 with 5-speed manual and T-tops. So this car's been modified a little bit cosmetically in addition to what we just saw under the hood. You can see that front bumper cover and front spoilers got an aggressive look to it. That's aftermarket. A few imperfections that come along with the exterior. We'll try to get in close to have a good look at these. Again, a red over a charcoal colored car with some aftermarket red microfiber appointments on the inside. We'll get to those in a minute when we get to the interior. Sorry for that bad camera work. I'm just getting a business card so that if we see any imperfections, I'll hold the business card next to them. We can get a sense of perspective. So, cruising in on, we'll start here with the driver's front tire, wheel and tire. So the stock rims, and you can see the calipers are painted white, branded with Nissan. Firestone tires all around. The fronts are a Firestone FT140. And it's a staggered setup of tires, but the wheels are the same at all 4 corners. So only different by 10 millimeters front to rear on the width of the tire. So 215, 55, R16 with an H rating here on the front. So red mirror caps, so color coded. There's a bit of a carbon fiber look here covering the cowl. kind of a neat door here with the opening of the T-top. I'll open the door here. You can see there's a frame on the vertical portion, but not on the horizontal. So that allows for the opening for the T-tops. We noticed Nissan glass. We've got photos of the glass emblems on the detailed listing for lot 323. And then got a brand new set of tires on the rear. So these were installed in October 2025. They're Firestone Firehawk Indy 500. And the size on these is 225 50 R16 with a W speed rating. So 215s up front, 225s in the rear. As I say, the same size rims front and rear. And again, we've got the white painted Nissan branded calipers here in the rear as well. The date code on these is 2024, but as I say, installed October 2025. A tell on the 2+2 on these cars. Some are two-seaters, some are 2+2s, at least in the normally aspirated. But the fuel door aft of the rear wheel is a tell that it's a 2+2 car, because the fuel filler neck, of course, wouldn't fit with the rear seat compartments were it to be on a four-seater car. So one other thing we've noticed, there's a couple of pieces of evidence that there was a much bigger spoiler on this car. This looks to just be remnants from glue for that spoiler. And I won't promise anything, but my instinct tells me that a decent glue gun could make pretty short work of that. We do notice some condensation in this third brake light here, in the center brake light. And we also noticed driving it when the driver took us for a little ride, the warning light for the brake lights is on, just because one of the there's a series of bulbs here. One of the bulbs is burnt, so that's probably caused by that condensation, and it does illuminate the warning light. But more evidence about the former spoiler. There's a cut in the rear bumper on either side to accommodate that large spoiler. I think we said dual exhaust, each with 2 exits, so 4 exits total, and a tow loop there as well. See the same setup here on the right side as well. And another item that was custom, there was a Fairlady Z sticker here. It's been removed, but the car was known as a Fairlady in the Japanese market. So a lot of the JDM loyalists like to see the Fairlady emblem on the car. We saw this on the other side. I didn't point it out, but this reflector, well, it's more than a reflector. There is a light inside of there, but the lens has been changed to clear, and the power antenna is functional with the powering up of the head unit. Now, the biggest flaw I've seen in the exterior of the car is right here. We do see a bit of perforation from corrosion. So take it for what it is. Again, here in the rear, we've got a just installed days ago in October 2025. Got a Firestone Firehawk Indy 500 tire, sized at, oh well, I'll show you the date code first. Again, it's 2024 date code, and here's the size here at 225 50 R16 with the W speed rating. Z emblems for all 4 center caps. Working our way forward, and another red capped side view mirror. Another good look at these T-tops. We have them out for the video. And the last tire to look at, we've got a Firestone FT140. It's sized at 215 50 R16. I better double check that. 215 55 R16 with the H speed rating, and a 2017 date code on those front tires. So we'll get a good look at the front spoiler that I mentioned, which is aftermarket. The car's ready to accommodate a front plate. There isn't one in place right now. This Z badge, I think these came a little later in the run. These Z32s ran from, in North America at least, from model year 90 to 96. But this 90's got this updated badge and clear lenses for indicators, both front and rear, but there are amber bulbs down below. So you're compliant with all the laws with the amber color. Carbon fiber appointments there in that cooling intake. And there's a good look at the headlights. Nice and clear, not showing any crazing or weathering. I did notice moderate stone chipping here on the hood. Wanted to show you that. But there's a good look at the exterior. Now we can move along to the interior. So here we go with our tour of the cabin. You can see the owners changed the dome light to LED. You can probably tell by the style of light. He's also changed the front seats. He prefers the cloth to the leather. So cloth seats up front. One thing I did notice about these seats, not original to the car, is there's some rust in the frames of the seats that's not part of the undercarriage of this car. And I'll get to the rear seats in a minute here. Kind of neat to see the Nismo emblem on the front mats for driver and passenger. Now this this steering wheel's seen better days. We've got a little more information about that on the detailed listing for lot 323, the 1990 Nissan 300ZX 2+2 5-speed manual with the T-tops. So we didn't have that steering wheel straight. Apologies for the break in the video. I had a sneeze and I wanted to spare you from the sound of that. But you can see that odometer checking in a little under 226,000 kilometers with a trip odometer that's functional as well. The controls over here are kind of a unique setup. Rather than on the stock, you can see on a stock from off the steering column, you can see there are controls for rear defrost, cruise control, fog lights, the intensity of the dash lights, as well as headlights, headlight washers. Over here on the left, and then on the right is the there's a 4-way flashers at the top, HVAC control, and wipers. So I will mention that on the HVAC, only the fresh air, heat, and defrost work. So no AC, despite it being equipped. The owner says he's not checked that out. So a speedometer that tops out at 260 kilometers an hour, a 9,000 RPM tachometer with 6,600 RPM red line. Over here we've got a temperature gauge for coolant, as well as an oil pressure gauge at the base of the tack. Fuel gauge over there on the right. In the center, things have been modernized with a Pioneer Bluetooth unit. We've got the model number for that on the detailed listing for lot 323 if you want to check out all its features. But it does offer Bluetooth capability. You can see a center speaker here by Bose. And that 300ZX emblem is aftermarket. From the factory, there was a clock there, and the owner is including a clock should the new owner want to put the clock in rather than the 300ZX badge. So you're getting a bit of a look at all the microfiber feeling interior appointments. So it really does brighten up, or wake up, I'll say, what would otherwise be a gray charcoal interior. It's kind of got the feel of suede, but it's not suede. I'd call it microfiber. And it's also featured on the boot for the shifter. There's a short shift kit been installed, and you can see the Nismo emblem on the shift knob as well. The boot for the handbrake is similarly equipped with the red microfiber, and same for the glove box over here. I'll mention also the Nismo floor mat for the passenger side, power window control for the for the passenger over there. Same with for the driver, of course. and speakers in the door. The car is equipped with central locks, so they can be controlled by either of the two keys that's included with the car. We do have some pictures of the glove box open on the detailed listing, but there are some personal items in there, so I'm not going to open it right now. Nice clean ashtray with a lighter, but I suppose we'd be better off calling that a power outlet. Lighter is nice and clean, and power mirror control, as well as a defroster for the mirrors as well. That's what this switch is, separate from the rear defrost. And then, as I say, the front seats have been changed out to cloth, and the leather remains in place on the rear seats. So 4 belts, so a 4-seater, 2+2 is what I should call it, but no space for a center passenger here in the rear. There's nice clean black carpet there in the rear. There are floor mats in the hatch. I'll show you those in a minute when we get to the hatch. But that's a good look at the cabin. Let's shift on over to the hatch. Moving in on the hatch, black carpet to match the rest of the cabin. You can see there's a cargo cover in place. So your precious cargo in the hatch is covered from the wandering eyes of onlookers. In the hatch, there are 2 dedicated stowage, I call them envelopes, but covers for the T-tops, which we have off. There are pictures of the T-tops on the detailed listing, lot 323. Here are the floor mats for the rear I was mentioning. They're just sitting here in the hatch. And then those are 2 spare stays for the hatch. No problem keeping the hatch up right now, as you see, but should the ones in place ever fail, there's already a set of spares on hand. And then underneath, nice and clean for where this toolkit is for spare change. And then there is a spare tire down there. It looks like it might have been used briefly, but a space saver style. But it's nice to see that red paint free of any corrosion down here. And that'll do it for our look at the hatch. Let's move along to some closing thoughts. So that's our look at the 1990 Nissan 300ZX 5-speed manual with the T-tops. As you see, I'm leaning in over the car where the roof would be, or the T-tops would be if they were in place. I mentioned the part about the 5-speed manual transmission, and that gets the power originally rated at 222 horsepower from the 3-liter V6 out to the rear wheels. Dual exhaust, each muffler with 2 exits, and under 226,000 kilometers when this car makes it to its new home. Again, the 1990 Motor Trend Import Car of the Year. It made a real splash when this Z32 body style replaced the Z31 of the 80s with the pop-up headlights. So this one is lot 323 on collectorcarcanada.ca. I just want to thank you for watching, and we're going to move on to the next car.